Welcome to Skald's Tale, Night of the Black Sun. We welcome you here to hear the story of laughter, joy, and sorrow. Today we talk about this story that started at a festival that is meant to bring cheer to the world. Rondo Creator is happy to partner with TTRP Theater and presents you with this Pathfinder 2nd Edition game. Join me in exploring the world of Excelsior. And my name is Chris Rondeau, and welcome to Night of the Black Sun. Have you heard of the day of sorrow? It was the darkest of days. Have you heard the sound of my people during the night of black sun? Have you heard the story of the heroes? They came to us unadored. They put their all into the conflict during the night of black sun. The story has tragedy, but please listen to me. The story must be remembered. The story of Black Sun. It was a day like any other. The Vagabond Festival was in place, and it's filled with magic and wonder. People were coming from all over the world of Excelsior. These people that are circus performers, musicians, even the best of warriors from the common folk. See, the Vagabond Festival is an interesting place because it allows non-royalty to compete. We're going to pan down to a figure of this little boy. It's about 10 years old, has short brown hair, has a little bit of dirt on his face from traveling. He looks around and he is in awe of everything. Dad, there's a merchant over there. What are they building over here? There's this giant tent. Is that a gorilla? Wait, is that Yvette Yaldwin, the famous singer? Oh, are we going to her show? I heard she was performing today. Is she going to a show? Yes, son. We're going to the show, but that doesn't start for a little... Wait. What are those people over there? That one looks slightly purple. That one has gray skin. What? Who are those? The boy quickly escapes his father's embrace and darts across the field, heading to a stand that's currently being filled up. Behind there we have 4 dwarves. 2 of them happen to be gray dwarves, 2 of them seem to be surface dwarves. They are setting up shop, and then there is this lone figure just working on a piece of chainmail, just taking his pliers and moving the chainmail and linking it together. Leo Dawnstrider, why don't you tell me a little bit about your character?
Leo is a half-drow. His mother is a drow priestess. His father is a wandering adventurer. Appearance-wise, he has long, I guess you would say white or silver hair that has a ponytail that brings it all together. He is wearing a black chest or breastplate, which underneath is a silvered shirt. And he is pretty well muscled from working in the forge for a while. And the piece of armor he's working on currently is very silvered, almost shining like the moonlight.
So you're working on a piece of chainmail. So you begin to sort of there, and you're like, you want to finish this to make sure that is the best quality possible. And you see suddenly this little boy darts towards you. Again, about 10 years of old age, little messy hair. Definitely has the view of people traveling. So what is your reaction? He goes in there, and see if you can up your volume ever so slightly, or perhaps just speak a little louder.
Does he come right up to me?
Well, I imagine that there is the booth in front of you, and while the booth isn't fully set up, he is on the other side of the booth, very, very much like a barrier. He hasn't seemed to try to make his way around that. He at least has that sort of respect when it comes to that sort of etiquette.
Seeing the boy come to the stand, Leo will turn to him and he'll say, "Are you interested in this type of work?" He says to the boy.
I mean, I have been sent off to learn skinning. That is where my apprenticeship is this time. But can I be a blacksmith? Is that possible? Do you have? Are you taking students? Are you and at this time the dad comes back and is like, sorry to disturb you. It's he's very excited.
Leo puts his hand on the boy's head, ruffling the hair, and turns to the dad. "If you want, I can watch over him for you while you explore the festival. He seems to be quite interested in this craft."
I mean, son, there's plenty of other things here. There is the zoo, and I think it was something the Almost Fortunates, the circus there. Oh, don't worry about it. I let me stay here for the day. We can do all that stuff tomorrow. We'll see. Can I participate in the fighting, the duels? So I don't know if you're old enough for that. So, but I can purchase some armor here, and I can go fight. Well, most of the people are much older, but I can do it. Let me go. Well, why don't you stay here and see if you even like holding a sword before you even think about dreams again? Did you hear? The prize is this gold horseman. That's got to be worth a pretty penny. Anything that you spend on this armor will be returned in your investment. It's like, so you have to win the competition to get the gold horse. It's like, but I can't. It just fine. But can I stay here for a little bit? Yes. That's all right. Is this okay with you? Sorry. What is your name?
He extends his hand. Leo Donstrad. And says, shaking the man's hand.
Leo Donstrad. That's a name of legend if I haven't heard any. But continue on with your work.
He will take the boy with him and start showing the boy what he's doing. He's like, so I don't know how to describe it. I don't know how to actually make chain.
Yeah, I mean, chainmail is just you create a bunch of chain links, and then you sort of take pliers and push them together, so you can adjust it. Can you pipe up your mic even more, if possible?
It's all the way at max. I'm
Okay.
sorry. I'll try louder.
Yeah, try putting it closer to your face.
It should be right there.
The mic in your mouth.
Do it.
Start
Too
chewing.
I mean, I can just talk really loud like this, and it'll probably be fine. It's just I had the character voice as a soft voice, so I kinda.
So just speak loud but softly. Come on, man. Get it together. God.
Yeah, I'll have to think of how to do that.
Stuff
But
cotton balls in your mouth.
Just wear a pillow on
Speaking
my face
softly.
every time.
cool. We'll take a break today and see if we can fix some mic problems. All right. So we'll pan away from that scene. So I imagine you're going to work with him and try to teach him like the very, very basics. But we'll cut away for a second. So currently going on, one of the last things that is currently being set up is this large tent, and we see an array of different kinds of folks here. The most prominent one, it seems to be the person in charge. He has this long blonde hair. He seems to be human, though there is a interesting quality to it, but you can't really quite pinpoint it. But he's setting up this large tent, and he's staking fences into the ground, and he is setting something up called Sitar and the Almost Fortunate. It's this sort of traveling group. But you can see him kind of sweating it out as he begins to set this, and he goes, if we can get some help, we'll pay a silver piece for anyone who can help get these fences and just put it in. He looks around. Anyone? And there is this dwarf who is wandering out of the northern forest and approaching, looking for some people to help. Barnabas, why don't you describe Barnabas?
All right, Barnabas is a dwarf, tan skin with shoulder length, well, just past shoulder length, dirty blonde hair that's kind of been braided and pushed back out of his face. His beard, while full, is shorter than most dwarves, although it still covers the whole chin. He wears chainmail that's been interlaced with leather over shoulders and wrists, but interlinking bits of chain in there. And behind him sort of drags a well-used traveler's cloak.
Oh, Dwarf. Can you come help for a second? Just a silver piece if you can help get this thing set up for us.
Sure, human. I can help you for a silver.
Okay, very much. So, first of all, my name is Sitar. I am the person who runs this troop, and you just gotta, you got it. And he hands you several tools and a couple of stakes to set up. It's like, beware, don't feed the gorilla, and we will all be good.
Alright, what's a gorilla?
Well, don't I have a surprise for you? For 1 silver, I can show you the gorilla.
Nah, I think I'll keep the silver.
Oh. All right. Yes. Okay, got work to do. Bye. And he runs off. And as he does this, you see him kind of duck behind a couple of large wagons and begins to adorn different clothing. And he takes this long, like, button-down jacket. And we're in the middle of summer-ish, so it is fairly hot. But he takes this long button-down jacket full of leathers. It is this like dyed bright red, and has this button down towards the center. And he takes a whip onto and places it on his right side, and a cutlass there, and takes this obnoxious hat with a bunch of what is it called? Blooms? Feathers? We'll call it feathers for now. Feathers coming out of it, and there, and he goes up and he talks to this mysterious person. It's like a person who is attached to another person who looks exactly the same. These Siamese twins would be how we would think of it. And there's just this look of concern, and as more times pass, it seems like more and more people seem to be having some concerns with Sitar. We see a deep bearded dwarf lady going down with the longest beard you've ever seen, even as a dwarf. We see we see performers coming in, people who are masters and that sort of thing. But for there's just this worry going on. Anything you want to do here?
Ugh, performers. So dramatic. And then he'll go to work hammering stakes in the ground.
Okay. And the day passes on as the day is the first day of commerce, so Leo Dawnstrider's crew is able to build that booth. Eventually, Barnabas is able to set up defense, and people begin trade crafting. There is a sense of a lot of artwork being sold, pottery. Pottery. I have this weird. There we go. Pottery being made like on the spot. They seem to have like kilns that they are doing this. There are people painting caricatures and that sort of thing. There are people making chainmail like Leo Dawnstrider, and like this. I don't know if any of your characters have been to a marketplace before, but this seems even busier. The area that they set across for trade just seems packed on this first day, and there's still this excitement in the air. However, navigating through this crowd is just this short person who's looking to perhaps procure some goods of her own. Tipsy, why don't you describe your character?
So at first glance, Baby does appear to be a bit like a walking pile of blankets. No more than a massive fabric on legs with a colorful mop of hair sticking out at crazy angles on top. Once you get a little closer, you realize that under all that, there is a gnome, although most of what you can see is simply the top of her head, and little gray eyes poking out, looking quite greedily at just about anyone's pocket who she happens to accidentally bump into, perhaps feeling up to see if she could slide a hand into a loose pocket. Or maybe find a coin pouch lazily tied to a belt. Underneath all of that fabric, there is a violin case that pops out every once in a while as she walks, and around her neck she has a dagger on a necklace. Hopefully not too sharp, because that would be dangerous.
So as you're beginning to travel, so you have a pretty good awareness of everything around you. Just a quick flick of a knife and a coin purse comes into your hand. A quick bump into something, and a pocket is picked full of various goods. There's a lot of wealth going on right now. This is a place of trade, so it's very easy just to scurry in between the small cracks and get a bit. And you hear a bunch of people kind of get flustered at the thought of attempting to buy something and losing their pocket. And they're like, yes, I'll buy this painting. Yes, let me just get my gold pieces out from my pack. Oh no. Hold that thought. I'll be right back. Just put it on hold for me. And then they scurry off. There's one person that attracts your eye. It is it seems to be a traveler of some sort. She is human. Has these this leather armor kind of placed in, studded leather with the metal stitchings within it. Just these pants that seem to be easy to move in. It kind of strikes you as a thief type. I don't think Pathfinder 2E has the equivalent of Thieves' Cant, but she is definitely letting off some sort of representation that she is, trying to find marks and is marking people. And once in a while, you'll see a small person. Don't want to say small person, but like a finesse type person coming in and taking the marks that she is marking, and they are escorting through the crowd. She is in her mid-20s, black hair, shoulder length, not enough to get into their face like my hair does, and she's there, and she's working for a good 20 or 30 minutes, just quickly doing this. And yeah, anything you want to do here?
I'm gonna try to figure out who she's directing and avoid bumping into any of them at all costs, lest they find their hands in my own pockets. Albeit it's hard to find them underneath the mass of fabric that she wears. She likes to pretend that it hides her hand movements. She'll probably try to sneak up close and maybe get a better look at this woman. See if she herself has anything that she might be able to pick off of her. There's no honor among thieves, according to Phoebe.
So, as you get a closer look at her, she almost looks kind of familiar. There's something about her persona, the way she holds herself with such confidence among her thieving, and you kind of can tell based on some of the hand signals is that she might be of the Vagrant Vanguards.
This makes Phoebe very uncomfortable, and she will scuttle off as quick as possible to a different area of the marketplace.
Okay. And time passes, and you are not followed. Any of the people you kind of marked, both humans and elves alike, you know, none of them follow you. None of them seem to take particular interest of the way you hold yourself and the way you're able to sneak by. Leo Dawnstrider, you are still sitting at this booth. Some time passes. You can see a dwarf helping build a fence not too far from your booth, and you take a look at some of the things around you, and just as this kid is trying to help you with your chainmail, you give him some extra chain just to kind of loop into, probably, it's going to start as a square, and then you can figure out what it is in later. But he see there is this figure beforehand, and there is this woman, has long blonde hair, seems to actually be wearing a pretty heavy set of armor, half plates in fact, and is walking. She has this huge instrument case behind her, and then there is this group of followers following her, and they're just whispering through the crowd. Whoever this person is raising a lot of excitement. The boy looks up. It's like, it's Yvette. She must be sound checking soon. I think her performance is tomorrow. Should we go meet her?
We'll give a quick nod to the boy.
Can you repeat that and try to speak a little louder?
Yeah. He gives a quick nod to the boy, and then he says, "Let's go meet her."
Okay, come on. And he scurries off. He drops his tools. The dwarves and Duergar you are traveling with kind of gives you a raised eyebrow and kind of shakes like, go ahead, man. No trouble here.
It's pretty clear before following the boy.
Okay, yes. Come this way. And he dashes the crowd. He's very small, being a youth, and walks up and is like, Miss, ma'am, madam, Mrs. Yvette! And hearing this high-pitched voice, she quickly turns around, but while she briefly glances at the boy, she looks pretty straight towards Leo Dawnstrider. Again, she has this long blonde hair, goes down to the small of her back, is currently in a very tight braid, very practical use of it. She does have a sword on her side, and in the sword, in the hilt, we see a topaz within the actual hilt of it, being which has its own implications. She is wearing half-plate armor. She does seem to be still wary from travel. You can tell that she's doing this. Behind her, you can see some people moving a cart with her brand in it, which will be the a cello, for lack of a better way to put it. And she goes there, looks at the boy, then quickly looks at you, being you, and goes like, welcome. We very rarely see any underdwellers up on the surface. Does the sun not hurt you?
Does not affect me as it does the rest of me. And look at the boy to see if he's still like jumping with excitement.
And he is going to like continue on just with this excitement. Okay, Barnabas, you do see this event as well. You see this small boy running across the field. We see this drow-ish looking figure with the purplish skin. Being from the Hellfire Citadel originally, you probably have a decent idea of what a drow is, and maybe you will pinpoint that this is not a full-blooded drow. But you see this figure here, you take your last stake, put the fence in, and you get tossed a silver piece from Sitar, and yeah, what do you want to do? What is your objective now?
Get a drink.
Alright, so you are able to move across the tent, the large tent. You see where the dwarves and Durgars are setting up. Let's make sure that this is visually okay. And are able to just go there. There's this large tent pretty close to the stage. It hasn't started service yet, but it's already serving drinks and some basic food to people, and looks towards you with a grin and a nod, and goes. The person who's running the thing looks towards you. Is like, I don't think I have a character for this tent, but we'll say it is we'll go with this character, a Goliath. He stands there with leathers. He is completely bald, completely clean shaven. On his back, he has this large white wooden staff, and he is wearing like the barest of clothes. He just seems to be like so hot in this thing, which is kind of the complete opposite of Sitar across the way. He goes, can I get you a drink?
Of course. Make it a couple, please.
We'll get you a double. We'll get you a quart instead of a pint. But yeah, we got some honey wine from Sindom. We have some fire wine from the Hellfire Citadel. We got ale. We got mead. Those are what we're selling today. We got stronger alcohol coming out for the shows.
Let's do one of each.
One of each. All right, 4 drinks, four pints coming right up. We're not serving much, but we can get you some bread and cheese. You want that?
Nah, that'll just get in the way.
What is your name?
I'm Barnabas, but you can call me Barney. He offers a big, meaty hand up to the Goliath to shake.
Cool. The Goliath reaches out. Seems like culturally he's not quite sure about it, and then kind of has a moment of realization, because takes it and he grabs your hand, shakes it. It's like, my name is Gaius. So you touch his skin. It's in a cold sweat. And it almost kind of brings a chill down your spine, just from the nature of who he is as a Goliath, and just might off put you a little bit.
Is it like a wet handshake?
Yeah, slightly.
Barnabas wipes his hand on the bar and is like, pleasure to meet you.
Mm-hmm. All right. And And so yeah, you're able to get drink, and is this how you're planning to handle the rest of your day?
Yeah, for the moment.
Okay, cool. And Phoebe, so you are traveling a little bit, getting away from the main marketplace. Where do you go?
I guess Phoebe is gonna zip around, and although she is moving away from the marketplace, she's gonna gravitate to where people are starting to congregate, in an attempt to disappear among the crowds once more. Hopefully, scuttle about unnoticed.
All right, so you are able to do so. Get there, and the biggest crowd is the crowd lining up for Yvette Yaldwin. Are you interested in that, or are you looking for something else?
Nope, she will gladly start heading over in that direction. However, instead of worrying about picking pockets, if that's where she is, she's going to pull out her fiddle, kick open the case of it, throw it on the ground in front of her, pull it out, and start playing. For the people waiting. Because, maybe they're bored. Maybe they've got some extra money. Why pick pockets if people will give it to you for free?
All right. Is there a performance check in this game? What is the performance skill?
There is.
Go for it. First dice roll of the game. No pressure.
Roll a 1. Roll a 1. Aha! Called it.
And as you do this, you try to set up a show. You drop the case to the ground, preparing to kick it open. And as you kick it open, and you start playing with it. You've been traveling quite a bit, heading to various places in this nomadic lifestyle. And as you begin to play your first note, it's just grossly out of tune. Like, just didn't think about it. It's like you begin to play like this jig sing, bum ba ba da 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 da, but it's so like the chords don't make sense. And Yvette Yaldwin looks from Leo Dawnstrider to this gnome playing this instrument, and it's like kind of shakes her head in encouragement. Goes kind of looks over. It's like, just tune up the G string just a little bit. You just like maybe like half a turn, and you got it.
Phoebe looks down at her instrument, looks around, just cheeks from where you can see her face up, just slowly rising red, straight to the tips of her pointed ears. Her nose in particular is so red it's starting to head towards purple. And she just kind of flops down in the grass, really looking like a blanket pile now. And begins angrily cursing to herself in Gnomish and desperately trying to tune up by ear, which is a long process of squeaky pitches.
Leo, I think Barnabas. Is Barney fine? Or
just call him Barney, yeah.
Okay, cool. Barney and Leah, from different places in this area and various stage of drunkenness, you can hear just this awful screeching sound coming from the crowd of Yaldwin. Leo, you're pretty much right there. This person is maybe 40 feet from you, and Barney, you're across the area getting your drink on early. So, any reactions?
Can I clearly see what the source of this noise is?
It's like there's a huge crowd. You can pinpoint the direction of it in a pretty good area. I don't think you can see it. Doors are short, so are gnomes, so it's going to be very hard to see through the crowd. I'll allow you to try to perceive for me if you want.
Sure. Let's see if I've got eagle eyes today.
Okay, for the briefest of moments, you see this, just this face that is just this bright red. and it kind of pinpoints where the direction of the tuning is coming from. But it's only just this like 2-second glance or so, and many people are whispering. And Yvette is going to leave Leo Dawnstrider and head over to this gnome. He goes, she yells, I need a chair. And someone goes and scurries off to her wagon and grabs a chair.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, aren't I right next to her anyways?
Yeah,
I know
well,
what's going on.
yeah, you get full glimpse of this, but she is leaving your company for now. The boy next to you is he's like shaking with anticipation and excitement, having no sense of subtlety.
I'll follow, because the boy obviously still wants to meet her, and I'm interested in the blankets pile.
All right, Barney.
Yeah, not seeing any sort of immediate panic from the crowd, and I'll probably just look back to the Goliath and be like, well, performances sound promising this year.
I'm not looking forward to the competition in a couple days. That seems like a bad spot to set up, but hopefully it'll make us the most money. You going to get up on stage and sing?
No. Not if you want people to come back next year to this thing.
Sometimes the bad ones bring just as many customers as a good one.
If I do any singing, the bar is my stage.
Let me refill that for you then.
Cheers.
So Yvette is going to walk over to Fabi. It's like a chair is set up, and she sits into it, opens up her case, and brings out this viol da gamba, which is the predecessor to the cello, and it's like, and just basically starts helping you with pitch. And as we begin to do this, and she goes like, do you know the song "The Ash Grove"?
That's a very good question. Can I bardic lore to see if I know this song?
Absolutely.
Hey, not a 1, right? Yeah, not a 1.
Yeah, I'll give that to you once I remember the lyrics. I mean, Google the lyrics. Yeah, so she sets him up, and you begin to take this nice rich chord. It's in a lot of flats. Normally, string instruments play in sharps, so it's a little tricky one to play on this particular instrument. It makes more sense for a keyboard. But she starts leading you into this nice A flat key, which is traditionally very, very, very warm, and begins to sing this song. Yes, this song that I have. It's just a simple song about a place that was burned down. It's down yonder green valley where streamlets meander, where twilight is fading, I pensively rove, or at the bright noontide in solitude wander, amid the dark shades down beyond the ash grove. 'Twas there wild, and it talks about this huge love story about how these two people met, and then ultimately the grove burned down, and the lady, the female in the story also burned with it. And it's a story about this man lamenting about it, but it's just this positive sounding song where we have these major chords, but once in a while it strikes a minor chord and it just like twings at the hearts. But why don't you give me another performance check?
All right. Haha! Yes.
There
There we go.
And you nail this hard key signature. You take those 4 flats and just smash it out of the park. So as she sees that you're doing this and you're gathering a crowd and there is a weeping within there, she begins to change the tempo, and we start speeding up, and we go straight into a jig, and it's just this dancing, and there is this impromptu performance. Barnabas will recognize that the music quality has gotten along better. You hear two sounds coming out, both a tenor sound from the cello and a soprano sound from the violin. And this kid is like giddy with excitement. It looks like he might be about to pee his pants just doing this, but he is currently like front of the crowd watching with anticipation. Some copper and silver does flow. No gold pieces at this time, but you put on a pretty solid performance.
As coins come in her direction, Phoebe gets back up off the ground and starts, doing a gnomish foot dance at the very least, since her hands are busy. It's not very good or anything. Dancing isn't her forte, but she can at least find the beat enough to not look like a total fool.
Yeah. I know we talked about this, but does Phoebe sing?
Phoebe can sing. She usually doesn't sing. The violin is her instrument of choice, and she finds herself fiddling on it more than anything else.
Cool. Would you describe her style like self-taught, or are you like trained virtuosic?
Definitely self-taught, and she tends, when she does sing, and often the tunes that she plays could have some profane sea sailor profanity songs about pretty girls and far off places,
so, yeah,
drinking beer.
Yvette Yeldwin is trained, and so as you begin to kind of go into this improv gnomish or dance style, she takes a moment and she's like truly tries to listen, because since you're probably using unconventional tunes, so she's like trying to follow with your viola da gamba, and it sounds okay, but about 2 minutes or so after you leave one tune and start another, she takes her viol, puts it back in the case, and kind of gives a nod, eye contact, and moves on.
All right. Baby gives her back a wink. Doesn't miss a beat. Keeps playing.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, Leo, what are you up to? Make sure you speak right into the mic.
I'm gonna slightly nudge the boy forward and basically say, go on. This is your chance to meet one of them or both of them if you want to. Because I don't know who he wants to meet.
I don't think he knows who he wants to meet. He's like, this person who can compete with the great Yvette Yeldwin, one of the best singers in all the land, best cello players. Person who has the primary spots for performance. And he sees this young gnome, and like, he's ultimately conflicted, but since Yvette is leaving the scene, it's a little easier for him to go to her instead of trying to interrupt the performance. So he's going to jet off towards Yvette. Are you gonna follow, or?
I'll toss a silver in the case. I will
Right into the mic.
follow. I will toss a silver into the violin case, and then yeah, I'll follow the boy.
All right,
Kind
Barney.
of my responsibility now.
You are prime babysitter now. Even though I think in this sort of time period when we're thinking of medieval, I don't think a 10-year-old boy running around is the most unusual thing. But yeah, Barney. So you see this whole scene, or I guess you can hear this whole scene, maybe getting glances of the two people playing once in a while, especially when the gnome starts dancing. But any reaction here?
Either they just got a lot better, or this bitter kicked in a lot quicker than I meant for it to.
All right, perfect. So, and then the rest of the day goes by pretty uneventfully. These are the primary things. All three of you have sort of, except maybe Phoebe to Barney, have made eye contact with each other. Phoebe does recognize that there is this weird purplish elf-looking person. Phoebe probably isn't well versed in Underdark creatures, I would imagine. You travel a lot, but have you ever been down under?
To the down under.
But anything else you guys want to do today? Besides necessities, make camp, finish the chainmail, play a little bit, pick up a couple more pockets.
Count her money. Phoebe is very particular about that. She counts it, organizes it, and stacks it nicely and stares at it for an extended period of time partway through the evening.
Does Pathfinder do 10 copper to 1 silver and 10 silver to 1 gold?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So you look at your pile, and you got 1 gold piece, which is very, very shiny, but you are looking at about 42 silver pieces and about 120 or so copper.
Perfect.
Good.
Thrill.
I already forgot that number, so I hope you wrote that down.
I did. Yeah, I did. I have a little note.
Perfect. So what are you guys' sleeping arrangements for the evening?
Barney has a pop-up tent that he set up in the probably in or near the forest line earlier.
Perfect.
I'm assuming the dwarves brought a tent with them, right?
Probably.
Yeah, so probably a tent by the stand, I'm assuming, is where they would put it up.
Absolutely.
Phoebe is going to retreat into her blanket amalgamation around herself and basically huddle in as if she's a nesting little sparrow, and really all you can see once she's done for the night is just blanket pile, colorful hair sticking out.
Nice. Cool. Well,
Oh my god, she's a sophisticated hermit crab.
Basically, yes.
all right. So we are going to take a quick 5 minutes. I want to see if we can fix some blanket show. Fix some of the audio things. Get Gabe up in audio, and we'll talk about that in a second. But we'll take a quick 5 minutes. Our countdown is going to say 10 minutes because that's what I set up earlier. So just imagine that 10 is a 5, and we're countdowning from 10 minutes to 5 minutes. So we'll be right back once I find the scene. Oop, and we. Alright, we are back. Hello. We gotta change the track. We've been listening to this track for a while.
Is this Peter Crawley that we've been listening to?
No. This is So, Rondo Creator is partnered with Tabletop Audio. You can go visit them at tabletopaudio.com and get 10-minute clips for free to use for your game. No ad break. No ad break yet. But yeah, this is all tabletop audio stuff, so that's that question. So we should have our levels a little better. So hopefully we're good to go. So you guys retreat for the evening. I imagine from the sounds of it, Barney had a lot of alcohol with very little food, is kind of my interpretation of events.
The food probably came later in the day, if at all.
Okay, cool. So I think Barney will probably wake up last then, if that's a fair assumption.
Sure.
Second day of events. Second day of events.
Do you just want one of us to wake up, or?
No, we're good. So second day of events, you guys began to oh, I just had a mind blank. But Gabe, Leo Dawnstride is going to wake up first. You are going to wake up to the sound of the other doors, basically preparing for work for the day. However, your responsibilities are effectively free. You already see people moving on to the main stage, basically beginning to set up the show I Want to Be Your Canary, written by the famous sky pirate former sky pirate known as Captain Shakespeare. Captain Shakespeare is this great poet. So he is a man who is known for his romantic stories, but he also had some interesting times in his youth. He mostly participated in the Great Civil War not too many years ago. But very beginning set this play, Leo probably wakes up to the sound of like vocal warm-ups, do 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 do, that sort of awfulness to wake up to. But the door's already awake. It seems like the surface dwarves and the Dorgar sort of switch shifts, so the Dorgars are up most of the night. They head in to get some sleep, and the surface dwarves, take up the morning shift. But one of the dwarves, we will say that this one is. He gave me a name. We'll say Dane. Dane is one of the surface dwarves. He goes there and goes like, "Aye, well, you got no work here today. Go have some fun. What's your plan?"
Leo looks at Dane and turns to him and says, "Same plan as every morning. To go and do my morning workouts, train myself with the blade, and then progress my day from there."
Well, you go do you. I don't know if you know this, but Yvette Yaldwin's playing tonight, and there's the circus, and there is the play coming up. So, play, circus, Yvette. Maybe you should check out some of them if you're not competing at all.
I do plan to compete in the brawl that is being hosted at the evening, and I will probably be back within the hour. I don't plan to be gone very long.
All right, your call. Take it easy, kid. Don't run into any trolls.
He will grab his sword and then head to an open area of the grounds and just start practicing his swordplay for a little bit.
Okay.
Doing his workouts.
Fabi, what is your plans for today?
Well, Fabi's first plan is to organize her way out of her blankets, which is at least a 5-minute process every day. It's very tangled by the time she gets up. She's got a leg sticking out the head hole and whatnot. After that, she's going to make a beeline straight for anywhere competition is happening. She wants to see who the competition is, so she can start making the good bets. Not one who likes to bet on the underdog, because the underdog is the underdog for a reason. And while everyone loves a good underdog story, let's face it, most of the time it's not going to happen. That's why it's the underdog story.
All right. So, you see a bunch of people warming up. You see Leo Dawnstrider, this person you made eye contact with the day before. You do have an axe, so you are warming up with your axe and do this. But there are a couple other people. A lot of these do appear to be commoner types. They are wearing, leathers, hides, those sort of things. Not necessarily getting to the metal armors that should keep you protected when it comes to this brawl coming forward. Not in 8 or so hours. But there are a couple people who catch your attention. There is this dragonborn sitting there. It is black colored. Seems to have this giant greatsword, almost too big for him. He is warming up as well. He holds the sword as if it was like a short sword, so he's able to kind of maneuver it almost in one hand. Just incredible strength. Second person you do this is a female. She is almost wearing no armor, so it's just very, very, very basic clothing, and she has this weapon here, and it almost looks like the weapon doesn't weigh anything. So it kind of implies that there might be a magical enchantment to it somewhere that increases the length or the weight of it, the mass, the density. One of those words is the correct one, but it's just this long sword, and she seems pretty comfortable not wearing equipment. But there's definitely a fierceness in her eyes. The last person you see is this small halfling. He seems to have this green hair that's combed over to the right, and he seems to just be kind of showing off. He's one of those people who is sitting there like doing push-ups, sees a person walking by and then starts doing the clap push-up thing, just strictly showing off, not taking this seriously at all. But confidence is a pretty good skill to have.
Is there any official betting going on?
There's a lot of unofficial betting.
Perfect. Phoebe is going to go up on anybody she sees who's taking bets and put herself down for a silver on the Dragonborn. And she'll find, if there's anybody else, put another silver on the woman. However, she thinks that Halfling is just being too sassy and hopes to get squashed.
All right. All right. And Barney, you eventually crawl out of your tent, probably in a state you're very familiar with. But you begin to look around, travel, and there's something very interesting. You made eye contact with this half-drow before, but his weapon strikes you as odd. It's very clearly a Dwarven make. It's a Dwarven style war axe. And you see your own axe on your side, and you're like, I don't think you guys have gotten axes from the same place. I imagine that Leo probably helped make his somewhere in his training, but very, very, very similar style. As you move to the food tent to grab some grub.
Fella's got good taste of weapons.
All right. And yeah, the day moves on. Barney, what are you up to today? Today is the day of the competition. There's also the performances. There's an archery competition. There's a couple things there. I don't think any of you guys are archers necessarily, so that probably doesn't interest you.
No, he's gonna eat some food to sort of soak up the rest of the hangover, and then go begin warming up for the brawl. And then later in the day, he'll go to the performance that's going on.
Cool. So basically the day is like this. People are warming up. I want to be your canary showing at like 10 a.m. I think I did something stupid like 28-hour days or some nonsense like that. But I don't know why. That was a good idea. In the afternoon, we have the circus performance. After that, we have the archery competition, as well as the brawling competition. And in the evening, we have the duels and smaller competitions and Yvette Yaldwin. So I know Leo and Barney were planning to compete. Where are you planning to compete at? The duels or the brawl?
The brawl for Leo.
The brawl for Barney as well.
Okay. So, everyone arrives into this competition area after, nursing the hangover, warming up, stretching, doing your basic activities to effectively see 10 people enter the ring at any given time. So basically it's 100 people within here. You guys participate in 10. The winners of those 10 get to come into one final round, and it's a great 2-hour event. Basically, if you get knocked down, you're out. Weapons are allowed, but killing blows are not. However, there are always going to be some casualties because this is the medieval times. And yeah.
So in other words, we're swinging non-lethally.
Basically. there is no ranged weapons. You're hitting with flats of blades. Honestly, it probably makes more sense to give you guys dueled weapons for this, so they'll probably pass that out. So you guys are able to pick up, fairly similar things. How we are going to do this is just sort of streamline it a little bit. We are going to just have you guys roll a couple of checks, and based on those results against my own dice roll, we will see if you guys make it into the final circle, and then the final circle will have some more dice rolls. So let's go ahead and so there are a couple ways to approach this. I'll let you guys roll an athletics skill just for pure force of your attacks, just knocking people down as much as possible. You guys can roll acrobatics to acrobatics to dodge skills. You guys can try to use something like survival just to try to get out of the way. And deception could be a possibility if you want to feint a lot. But basically pick your two highest skills out of those and go. I'll let you perceive as well, if you want. Perceive, acrobatics, athletics, deception, and survival. Pick your two highest.
I will do, athletics as well.
Rip.
We do 2, you said?
Yes, pick 2. 2 different skills, though.
Yeah, certainly athletics. And perception.
Okay. So, Leo, you have a pretty hard time of it. You are against the You are against a group of people who are just a little burlier than you. Certain races have certain abilities, and very interesting enough, there is this catfolk in the corner who is doing this, and this person has their claws out, and there has been a lot of stipulation about whether we should allow catfolk into the competition because using claws seems like an unfair advantage. So this person immediately gets swamped and knocked out pretty quickly out of some sort of belief of what the rules should be. But quickly, when all 9 of them go forward, you guys are able to begin this brawl, and you make it to the last guy. We'll say it is this large, burly person from the Malik Empire, human, blonde hair, blue eyes, and he is holding just this large shield, and his current tactic is to try to bulldozer you down. However, I rolled very poorly, so as you go bulldozer down, you're able to kind of match his strength and just straight hit him on the back of the head with your axe, and he falls down. Barney, you are in a similar situation. 10 people. Here we see a couple of lizard folk as well. And there's this very interesting situation where one of the lizard folk straight up bites somebody. He just goes for a nice chomp on someone's upper arm. He screams and then kicks them. This person is doing dirty fighting. Do you care? What's your opinion on the situation?
Oh yeah, if Barney sees someone dirty fighting and can sort of very easily make his way in that direction, he'd probably try and just focus that person out, really.
Okay.
Because if you want to cheat, he'll be like, all right, you come fight me then.
Okay. So you're using like a double-bladed axe, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, so it's just like a straight up, like this guy bites him and looks for his next target, and then as he goes against this, we'll say human, probably a little too young to be in this competition with any sort of success, just runs in and and you just kind of like sideswipe him as he goes in, just with the flat of your blade, just hold it out as he's running forward, and he gets knocked down to the ground. And you're able to somehow surpass this this competition. There's a lot of good competition here. You spent most of your morning with a hangover, while these people did spend time warming up. So you seem a little sluggish, but then you get that groove, that adrenaline begins to burn that stuff out of your body, and you just go for it. And yeah, this puts us with Leo, Barnabas, Gaston. The halfling has done really well. The dragonborn and the woman Set, as well as 5 nondescript people. So both of you guys go ahead and roll your checks again, whichever 2 is higher.
Oof.
There we go.
Ugh, not well.
Okay, Leo got 22 and 17. And Barney got 9 and 10. Alright, so, you guys, it seems like people, are beginning to, pick up sort of alliances. They do make eye contact with a couple of people, and 2 of these nondescript peoples begin to move up onto Barnabas, seeing that Barnabas seems to be a threat, and they come in with these swords. Swords come in. One has a sword and a shield, and another has a just like this larger sword. And the one with the sword and shield comes up first, begins to whack you. You're able to parry the strike, but the other one comes back behind you and just does this dirty trip attack, knocking you out. Leo begins to fight against the small halfling fellow Gaston Baptiste, and this man is so quick. He is able to just dart around the battlefield, and as he does this, as you're trying to follow him, you're able to perceive his movements and able to parry, but you're definitely put on the defensive. However, when this large black dragonborn comes up behind you and knocks you out, you're unable to withstand the force of that, so you're also going to be knocked out. The winner of this fight is going to show itself. We have Gaston the dragonborn and this woman with this seems like enchanted greatsword. Although she would have gotten a practice weapon, a dulled weapon here. So she'll just use a normal greatsword. Begins to go forward, and as the halfling and the dragonborn begin to engage with each other, this woman plays it very, very intelligently. And as the dragonborn is about to knock out the halfling, this woman takes the greatsword and slashes it towards the dragonborn, and blood is shed, and this dragonborn falls backwards. There is a call for a medic and medicine, and some people get forward as this dragonborn is pronounced dead from the hit. This woman is ecstatic. He's like, yeah, and coin purse is exchanged into her hands, and she walks away. Go ahead and make your money, Tipsy.
Excellent.
All right, and that is the end of the brawl. There is some money that is made from this. There is an entrance fee for it, but since you guys did make it to the final round, you get your entrance fee back plus about 5 silver pieces each. So Barnabas and Leo can add 5 silver pieces to their inventory for being in the top 10, but unfortunately not in the top 3. And yeah, that event is over. The play has also ended, and we arrive about mid-afternoon. The sun is past its highest point, beginning to get into dusk in about 3 or 4 hours, and we have the rest of the day in front of us.
Phoebe is going to continue what she's been doing. If there's any more physical events, she will do what she did before, size them up, see who catches her eye, and continue placing bets.
Okay, is anyone anyone participating in the duels?
Is that like full armor and everything?
Yeah, those are one-on-one fights.
Sure, why not?
Yeah, same
Sounds
with Barney.
fun.
Yeah.
So you guys
Not satisfied with his position in the brawl.
Yeah, I know. Stupid Dragonborn. I knew that he was gonna be able to take me out.
yeah. So for the sake of expedience, you guys participate in these things. Bets are made. It seems like the only person from the previous competition that is identifiable is going to be the halfling, Gaston Baptiste, participating in the duels. The other two seem to be satisfied with their winnings, mostly because there are more rules to the duel. It's more rules involving like how to win points, what you can and can't do. Things like the biting wouldn't be allowed here. You have to get a certain amount of points, basically 3 strikes to a vital position, being at the head and the armor or something like that is what it is. So let's go ahead and take one roll from each of you to see how far you get, and then we'll see if you guys fight each other in the finals.
What are we rolling?
Same skills. Yeah. Okay, so I rolled a 2, a 3, a 4, and a 5, in that order. So, you guys are able to make it past the first few rounds and get to it. You make it to the semifinals, and people like Gaston the halfling. I just revealed his name, but is also in the finals, and you guys make it to the events that are happening tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be 6 duels total. 1, 6, 1, 2, 3. It would have to be more than 6, but the finals are tomorrow, so you guys are able to participate into that after the artsy competitions in the morning. So congratulations, friends. I rolled a 2, 3, 4, and a 5.
You beat me by 1 point, 2 Breaker. Overall, if you add like both of them together.
Oh, that's funny. My perception has been terrible. Better now than when it's actual combat.
My athletics have been awful. I got one really good one.
And 2 out of 3 so far.
And we have the performance of Yvette Yaldwin, and we have the circus. Any of you guys want to participate in that?
Is that after the duels?
Yes. So, no, I'm sorry. The circus would have ended by now.
I'll go to the concert. Why not?
Why not? Yeah.
Yeah, the little boy that has taken you on as a friend will be there as well. It's just a pleasant concert. I already sang for you twice today, so we'll not do that again. But the concert's very well, and she tells this story of her father, and her father was I think Barnabas will know this tale because he technically would have lived through it. He knows the tale of the Emerald Dragon, the person who came in and terrorized the world, and as he does this, Ryan Yaldwin mounted on a sort of like, I don't want to call it a deity, but like a demi deity, a demigod, known as the Jade Dragon, who and rode the Jade Dragon into battle and was able to defeat the Emerald Dragon. And it's this great hour-long epic. It has storytelling, it has singing, and it's just her on stage, both with a harpsichord and her viola da gamba, sort of trading back and forth. Lots of singing, lots of storytelling. It's pretty moving, I think. 18 plus 7, 25, so pretty moving to a lot of people. And the day ends, and like everyone is so somber except for Gaius, who's about to make a killing because everyone wants to drink after the concert. So Gaius is sitting there afterwards, trying to prepare for the day's events, and ultimately at pretty late in the evening, the full moon begins to shine, and it looks down on the crowd, and everyone's having a pretty good time. Well,
Phoebe would like to go to where everyone's drinking after this sad performance to go play silly songs. And once again, kick open her thing and just wait for people to throw money at her. She will play anything, most of them focusing around prostitutes this time around. Because prostitutes always get a good laugh.
there's probably a lot of those. A lot of what's the PG-13 version of events. Lots of events happening around the festival, but I'm sure there's a better word and I can't think of it. But we'll go ahead and roll performance.
Salacious behavior.
Raunchy behavior. We'll go with
There you
raunchy.
Well, Phoebe's singing Charlotte the Harlot. So.
Charlotte the Harlot.
Mm-hmm.
I'll make a note to write that song for next week.
Oh no, it's a real song.
Oh, is it?
I would sing it, but nobody wants to hear that.
All right, performance.
All right.
$18.
Very good.
Nice. Yeah. It's hard to get the crowd moving. Like, it takes a good 15 minutes to go from the previous activity of Yvette singing to more of a jovial mood. And so as the crowd begins to get through this, and as the first drinks enter the system and began to take effect, everyone goes into this this rather vulgar song, I imagine at least, called Charlotte the Harlot with Tipsy, and she can make another, we'll say like 40 silver and 80 copper.
Phoebe's thrilled.
Nice.
It's paying for itself.
Yeah, and anything else from Barney and Leo tonight?
I'm gonna go drink with the dwarves at the bar place with the Goliath because we made it to the duel finals.
Nice. So you are an apprentice blacksmith?
Yes.
Do
Technically.
you have a skill for that?
Yeah, crafting.
Crafting. Go ahead and roll that, please.
Rip.
All right. Unfortunately, your stuff didn't sell very well on the first day. So like there's certain things that you have made basic like chain gloves, some smaller swords. You know, nothing immaculate for this particular thing. And you know, you sell a couple of daggers for whatnot. So you can go ahead and take like a gold piece and 60 silver, but it's not a lot, but it's something. You know, you made more here than at the competition.
Yeah.
Okay. So maybe you saw like a pair of emergency horseshoes from for somebody. So yeah.
Are the Duragar awake right now? Because I'm gonna wake all the dwarves up. We're gonna go get a drink.
Probably in between shifts, I imagine. So like the Durgar are more there. Like as long as it's nighttime, they'll be out and about. So since we did establish it was nighttime, they will be there with you. Barney, anything interesting?
Probably do some rabble rousing with anyone that was in the brawl earlier. Anyone
Perfect.
that landed a good blow or took a good hit. You know, general rabble rousing.
Cool. So there is the woman who won the thing there. She is drinking her weight in alcohol. There's also the halfling who is still in the habit of trying to do some knife tricks, doing one of those things where he's juggling 3 knives and then landing 3 all on the table in pretty uniform position. Any of those interest you?
Barnabas wouldn't really want to talk to the woman, the winner. He'd be more interested in talking to the halfling.
Okay. You can also talk to somebody nondescript as well. There are plenty of other people who participated.
That's fine. This guy's got enough style.
Alright. He goes, I have a voice changer. Should I try it?
I mean, why not?
Do it.
Absolutely.
Okay, let me see.
Your gnome voice or halfling voice.
Yeah.
Let's see if I set this up. I don't know if I can do this while on stream.
Gotta really pinch your vocal cords and really put yourself into it. Just do it without. See how great that goes.
Hello. How you doing? Nah, that's not gonna. Alright, but I just downloaded it yesterday, so I haven't figured it out yet. But Tipsy, you do have a request to sing Charlotte the Harlot.
Oh, well, I don't know the tune yet. I just learned about this song, but I will be sure to prep it and at least learn a verse for next time around when she's determined to earn money.
Okay, cool. So Barney, you see this halfling. He has a crowd of mostly females around him, and he's doing this tricks juggling, and he's like, "Hey, you're from the brawl. Come sit down. Come sit down. Let me let have one of them buy you a drink."
I like that idea. Yeah.
Yeah. You fight well. How I talk with my finger. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Still a bit of ringing in one side of my head, but other than that, pretty good.
Did you I haven't checked the results of the duels yet. I got looks over to some of his company. Got kind of distracted, but did you make the finals?
I'll be fighting tomorrow. Feeling pretty good about it. Some strong competition out there, but I think there was some stronger ones in the brawl.
I mean, I was in both, so maybe I'll see you in the finals. But that poor Dragonborn, huh?
Seemed senseless, that one.
Only casualty, but I guess that's the price we pay for these competitions. Do you take any bad hits?
Nah, nothing I won't shake off with another beer.
Excellent. Another round! Now, I am being escorted, so I'm going to tap out, but if you ever need anything, you can come to the Hornet Island, and I'll come hook you up with some company.
I enjoy your escort.
And he's going to nod and walk out. Hornet Island is the main halfwing area. So, yeah.
Just off the coast of the Badlands.
Mm-hmm.
Or Freelands, rather.
Freelands, yeah. No World of Warcraft here. Yeah. All right. And
that's his evening.
All right. And everyone else, pretty much that. All right. Cool. So we are going to fade to black on the evening and wake up the next morning. Leo, you wake up first to the sounds of a lot of movement suddenly. It sounds almost like a stampede.
You will open the tent flap and peek his head out and look towards the direction.
Yeah. You head out to where you are going, and you head out and look out of the tent flap, and you see just this visual of people, and the sun is beginning to rise. You block your eyes from the upcoming dawn, and towards the center of the city of the Vagabond Crossroads, where this festival takes place, you see what appears to be a fire.
Is there water near? Well, yeah, there'd be water to cool the metal, right? And a bucket.
Yeah, I mean, yes, there'll be some that are in.
He's going to look. Well, are the dwarves awake? The normal dwarves? Or are they still asleep?
They're still asleep.
For now, he's gonna let them sleep, and
Alright.
he's gonna try to dump water on the fire
Okay.
if it's.
It's pretty far out. You got like 600 feet to get through stampeding crowds. It's gonna take you a couple minutes there. I think we'll cut to Fabi now. Yeah. So you wake up to the sound of stampeding as well. What's your initial reaction?
What the fuck is that?
And yeah, lots of people are running away from the center of town. I have a map for this.
All right. So center of town being there.
Yes, so this is the center of town. So these are like the permanent structures, and then everything is built to the south of it.
Okay. So Phoebe is a very curious gnome, and well, she's like, yeah, I should probably leave. These guys are probably wimps, though, so she's gonna inch closer. Not in any particular quick pace, because she wants to be ready to stop and turn around and run the opposite direction. But she does want to try to, dodge between people's legs and whatever, and go the opposite direction of everybody to see what exactly is happening that everyone is fleeing from.
Cool. Barney, you are staying in the forest edge, maybe like 500-600 feet from the edge, enough to kind of, that's probably too far, maybe like 200 feet from the edge with a couple of other people. No one is running towards you, but you can still hear the sound of what was just this boo coming from the distance, and then a scream or two, and the sound of running.
Can I see the source of this commotion?
Not from the tree line. You have to move closer.
Well, let's move closer.
Yep. And
I assume I've been awake for a time by now.
Sure. And if we take a look at the center of this town, we see a explosion or a fire going. We'll use this. And there are many people beginning to set trying to put out the fire, trying to figure out what's going on. Now you can see this from the distance. You're not quite on the map quite yet, but there is the visual look of the orange coming in there as the dawn begins to rise. There is a view of the smoke going into the air. You can see and hear Muma, but you're still maybe 60 feet there. 60 feet to the city. Are you going to head further in?
Yeah, but he's doing so at a pretty, casual pace, because he doesn't want to, everybody running just makes things worse, so he's just sort of slowly getting a grasp of the situation.
Okay.
Trying not to add to the commotion, in other words.
Perfect. So Leo, you get there first. Let me grab your tokens. We do have Art coming in shortly. Our artist had a computer failure. So Barnabas, you're coming in from the north. Leo, you're coming in from the south. So Leo, you enter the map around the south side of the map here.
Is this a townsperson that's by the building? Right here?
No, this is, well, I mean, not, this is someone a traveler, like, this person doesn't, is like well armored, well adjusted for travel, not necessarily in commoner's clothing or anything like that.
He's going to go to the person and ask, what caused this?
Give me, go ahead and perceive for me, please.
Yeah. Ooh,
A
Nice.
I am
Yeah.
an elf.
Within the actual building itself, we see bits and pieces of the burning thing. Like the roof is beginning to come down. People are trying to contain the fire. And as you ask this question, you briefly get a glance in, and there is this small creature, has reddish skin. There, small little wings kind of flapping around. He has a little dagger in his hand, and as this small red imp begins to kind of form and go into your vision.
Was it still technically my turn?
Yeah, go for it.
I will. I guess it's called stride.
Yeah, we're not in initiative yet, so don't worry too much about mechanics.
Oh, he's gonna raise his shield and walk forward. Not attacking it, but making sure that it doesn't attack him or this traveler person, if it's traveler person.
Okay.
I don't know who that is.
Barney, what are you up to?
I'm gonna try and perceive the situation.
Nice. So, as you begin to head into the area, we're gonna put Fabi here, I think. It's coming in from the west. As you begin to enter into the map and try to see what is going on, you look around and really take it all in. You see the fire in the distance, and you see people focusing on the fire. You see people moving around, and it's very just hard to concentrate. But as you look over to the north of you, we see something leaving the town. It seems to be this smallish creature. Looks pretty humanoid. Prominently, he does have pretty big feet.
Interesting.
And he has this hat on his head, and it's like blood red.
This thing is flying, you said?
No, it's just on the ground. It's just walking away.
Oh.
You want to give me... what check would this be? Do you have any knowledge checks? Do you have any lore checks?
I have lore legal.
Hey, that's okay. Yeah, go ahead and give me a Arcana, please.
Arcana?
Mm-hmm.
That wasn't what I was expecting.
It's something. But it kind of moves in a certain, like, almost kind of grotesque kind of way. It's not normal at all.
Okay. Well, that seems strange. Is it... So it's not a race that typically lives around here?
No.
Or has been seen around here?
I mean, it arguably could be a gnome, but its like limbs are longer than that, and its feet are oh so big.
Okay, I think I know out of character what this is, and I'm like 90% sure it's a nature check.
For Fey things?
Yes.
Okay, give me nature then.
Nature I actually have. Arcana I don't.
Okay, so as you sort of look at this creature, I just have the red cap, the large boobs. This is definitely a like almost like a fey goblin, for lack of a better way to phrase it. These are the stories that you tell your children to get them to stay in the house at night instead of wandering free. These are the creatures that are there to bring horrors into the night. These are the red caps who kill their target and dip their hats in the blood of their victims.
It's got a bloody hat, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
This thing just killed someone.
Seems to be dripping.
Well, I'm gonna follow it.
Okay. Fabi, you enter in as well, coming from the east side, and you're trying to navigate the crowd, and you're pretty small. What's your first instinct?
So Fabi's first instinct is to get a good view of this fire. Building's already on fire. What is she gonna do about it? Too many cooks in the kitchen. She probably doesn't need help. So she's gonna look for ladders, stacks of boxes, little sheds she can get up onto. She actually wants to head to the rooftops if at all possible.
Okay. Climbing is athletics, is it not?
Yep.
Yes. Or acrobatics, could be either.
I don't think I want to require a check for this, so no worries there.
Okay.
So you can get onto one of the roofs.
I'll take 10.
Take 10, which is what, a 9 for you?
No. I've got it. It's gonna be like an 11 or a 12 for me, I think. Yeah.
Nice. Go ahead and perceive for me.
All right. There it is.
14? Not bad. You look around and two things catch your attention. The sun comes up right at begins to rise as you see it, and so you look away from the sun towards the buildings, and there is this flock of birds just setting up right on top of you. In fact, it looks like a flock of ravens. And as you look at this, everyone's so distracted by the fire and other threats. There are hundreds and hundreds, maybe even thousands of them just beginning to do this. And while they seem to be chaotic, they begin to move in a clockwise motion, uniformly.
Can I try to figure out what they're doing? Or if this is like something symbolic? Is there like any check I can make to see what the heck the birds are up to?
I'll take a nature check for this.
Perfect. Let me tell you about my bardic lore, if that works.
Oh, let's go bardic lore.
Not very good bardic lore.
Yeah, unfortunately, you see these things circulating, and you can't pinpoint it. Like you've heard stories of like ravens being symbolic to the shadow plane, being like the chosen animal of Morgan, the goddess of the shadow plane. But you're just, nothing is coming together about sort of the history or the symbolism or a myth or anything like that. However, something else attracts your attention, which probably snaps you out of the stop process. As you look around you, coming from behind, suddenly there's just this large pop coming next onto this building as we take a view and we see, we see what appears to be a white horse appearing on the roof suddenly, as if it was teleported in. And this large white horse with this beautiful white mane has this horn sticking out.
Is there a unicorn near me?
Yes.
Baby's so excited. She begins to ask for its autograph, realizes that it's a horse. That's unlikely. And just looks around and shouts up, over there, unicorn. There is a fire.
Cool.
Unicorn, there's a fire. Your magic. Put it out.
We are going to look up real quick how to make a grapple check, because it is going to try to grab the back of your neck. Back of your
I
shirt.
don't like this at all.
It's athletics versus athletics, or athletics
versus class DC maybe.
Okay. What is your class CC, Phoebe?
My class DC?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I have one.
Okay.
It's on your character sheet.
Yeah, but I'm a spellcaster, so I don't have that stuff. I have my spell DCs.
Oh.
Maybe? I don't know. It never came up on the bard sheet, so who knows? Maybe
Cool.
it's just a flat 10.
I found the page. Just give me 1 second. Grapple. You have at least one free hand, target, blah, blah. You attempt to grapple an opponent against your Fortitude DC.
Oh, there you go.
I rolled a 21.
So, is that me making a fort save then?
No, it's against your Fort DC, so... I believe your Fort DC is either 10 or 12 plus your Fort mod.
I have a fort mod of 5.
So,
it's either a 15 or a 17.
Right.
I
Yeah.
think a 21 hits
21 will
either
still
way.
beat it.
Yeah.
So, this person kind of appears, or this unicorn appears, looks around you, sees you there, like in awe and shock, and trying to get his autograph. He is going to grab you by the end of your clothing as you try to like grapple onto all your blankets, and you hear telepathically, "I'll save you. Don't worry." And it's going to start to fly off, heading north towards the forest.
Phoebe is... The only stories Phoebe knows about this unicorn is that unicorns are magical and they come to people who are pure of heart, and she's pretty sure that this unicorn's got the wrong person. But she's not about to turn this down right now. So she's like, okay, take me.
Cool. And Barney and Leo, proceed for me.
We perceive so good.
Yeah, and you guys, while Leo is beginning to figure out what to do with this NPCs in front of him, as Barney begins to see this red cap fresh off a murder. They briefly can see this thing in the eyes, and they see these ravens circling, and they see this creature with a small gnome person between his teeth. The unicorn's male. I apparently gave him that pronoun. And this person, it's kind of hard to immediately see, but you do see the violin case that is within the mass of blankets, and you guys have a pretty good idea, since you guys made eye contact with this person, who it is. All three of you look up for a moment as well, as we look towards this circling bit of ravens, just circling around and around and around, as we look up to the sun shining its dawning rays onto the city, as slowly but surely we see the blackness beginning to overwhelm it. And we will fade to black here.
Everything goes black and white.
Alright, this was Skald's Tale, Knights of the Black Sun, with a partnership from Rondo Creator to TTRP Theater. I hope you enjoyed the first episode. We'll get the kinks worked out and we'll be back. Have a great day. It occurred to me I never set up an ending scene. So, bye.